really proud of this build. Look at this guy. This thing looks so much better, or looks so much better now than when we got it. I mean, Jesus. Just 100. Norman, don't be a murderer. Norman wants to eat the chickens. Generator's running good now. I was able to like run a grinder earlier off it, no problem. Look at this size of this window. It's amazing. But yeah, I think we really did a good job with this. Shit. But yeah, things are wrapped up pretty much. We got to get it smogged, but that's something we're gonna do when we get back to town. And then yeah, like other than that, we finished up most of the inside. Look at this. Whoop, whoop, there we go. Beautiful new carpets. We're gonna trim that. And then look at how fucking cute. Little plans. Finished all the painting and everything. Chicken. Yep. We're here and we made it back to Los Angeles. This is the Chinook carburetor. I am going to rebuild it before we take it to go get smogged. We listed it on Craigslist yesterday, and like 15 people have gotten back to Matt already in like 5 hours, so it's super crazy. So we got to finish up these last little bits of things. But yeah, I've never rebuilt one of these, but I feel like once you've rebuilt one, or I guess once you built a few different kinds, you kind of realize for the most part they're all the same. The big thing is just remembering what you did and, you know, putting things back together how they should be put back together realistically. That's the biggest thing. So I'm going to start by just starting to take off this accelerator pump assembly, and then I'll start taking off the air horn, and then from underneath I'll take off the base plate, and yeah, just really just give it a good clean. I hope I don't even have to get a kit for it. You don't always have to get a rebuild kit. If you're really careful and you just kind of open the gaskets really softly and you don't tear anything, you should be able to reuse most parts. So, all right, see you guys in a little bit. Starting to break down. This is kind of like, so far, one of the more simple carburetors that I've had to work on. Just at least as far as like needing to know tricks to like get it apart and shit. But it's definitely better grimy in there. Right, we're back. Carburetor is rebuilt, all put back together. Sorry I didn't like film everything, but it gets a little boring. The biggest thing you need to know, and it's going to be different for all carburetors, that's what's annoying. See those two little brass things, boom and boom, on the top of every carburetor? It may not look exactly like this, but it looks something like this. That's an air bleed, and that is very important. If that gets clogged up, your mixture will never be right. So the big thing is making sure you take some carburetor cleaner, boom, carb cleaner, and just really spray out those little brass holes. And you'll, from the underside, you can see exactly how they lead into these little metering rods. And so yeah, you just gotta blast them out like crazy. So really just blast out all the little ports, you know, just clean out all the little holes and stuff like that. Never stick anything in those little holes. Just use compressed air. Use some kind of carb cleaner or something like that. But it's really easy. One of the gaskets broke, but in a drawer in the back, there were some spare gaskets and the exact one I needed. So somebody probably tried to rebuild this at some point. Getting super gangster right now with all of the renovations. We just put new locks on the doors, I'm ripping off the steering wheel right now so that I can put a new ignition key in. You see this little buddy? Look at that. So special. This puller tool is just like the easiest thing in the world. When I put it back on, I'll explain it. But pop the steering wheel off and then just a few screws, and then you gotta kind of. This thing feels like it doesn't want to come off, but it's because it's. Get in there. You see that hole right there? That guy. It kind of like sets in there, so you have to kind of pull it up and then out, and then it'll pop off. But just continuing to move through here. There's like a gasket, and then I need to get this little, there's a little C-clip ring, and a few other things. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep on trucking. Oh yeah! Yes! We're back together! That's awesome, man. That was not nearly as hard as I thought.
Another game changer.
Yeah.
You find an RV that doesn't have a key.
Bitch! So this puller, it just comes with a bunch of different size bolts like this, and then this little guy right here. And see how there's this basically end of the steering column? When this thing is on, you know, it's been pressed on there, so it's really, really tight on there. And basically, these two silver bolts are screwed into the steering wheel, and then this black bolt you screw in against that post. And the more you screw in the black one, the more it'll push the steering wheel off the column. So now we are ready to get back on. Matt, do those wheels outside look pretty straight? And that's it. Fuck yeah.
But we've been going in different directions.
Have you?
Because I started playing.
Evolved.
I mean, I got branded up into
Taking the valve covers off?
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't the spark plug or the wire, so that does mean that it's worse than We didn't have any oil, so I stole a little bit from the generator. And so yeah, now we're just testing if we're hoping it's not piston ring, because that's just more intense to get to. We're hoping that it's just a burnt exhaust valve, but this is an easy way to check. You just put some oil in the cylinder and it'll collect down on the bottom of the rings, and if the compression gets better, then it's going to be the piston ring is the problem. So if the oil helps seal it up all of a sudden. Let's see. Alright, go for it. Didn't really get any better. Okay, so it probably is a valve. Yeah, maybe the valve's just a little bent, or maybe it's a little, the seat maybe is just destroyed or something, so maybe it's just like a little bit of air is getting through. You know, instead of, that's better than that, but, woo! Alright, time to have a busy day. Back into this Chinook, which is definitely, running, but it's definitely we're only running on 7 cylinders, so we're gonna take it up to the Smog guy right now and see if somehow we can get this thing to pass on just by tuning it, and if we can't, then we will start the realistic job of tearing it apart and yeah, ripping the motor apart and getting it fixed. So either way, we'll figure it out by today, whatever we're gonna do. So So things went effing great. I'm trying to swear less. Really great yesterday at the Smog place. I love that dude. Chris Hernandez is his name, and if you're ever in Sylmar, California, and you need to get a Smog, you should go to OWT Smog on McKay, because they're just awesome, and he will work with you no matter what. It is much easier than anyone would ever think. Like, literally, I mean, the carburetor was tuned right, it was tuned just fine, and then what ended up happening was I backed a bunch of timing out of the ignition, and I did that by spinning the distributor. So I just raised the idle like crazy and then kept backing out the timing until, I mean, if I tried to put it under load and drive it, it probably would have ran like crap. But because it's in park during the whole test, the motor did just fine because there's no real load under it, so it's not having to really make any power. It just has to idle good enough and idle clean, which it did. How's it going, Tourlifers? We're done with our first series. The 1978 Dodge Chinook was a learning experience. We learned that interiors are not so easy to fix and have look finished, even though the buyer got a great interior. Passing Smog is easier than I thought, that's for sure. A little bit of distributor retarding and some carburetor cleanup, and I swear any car in the universe will pass Smog, or at least any carbureted car. We had maybe $750 total into this vehicle. We figured out all the registration issues for this person, and we got the fees knocked down to a very minimal $300, which they ended up paying. And the buyer who came and eventually did end up buying it, his first question to us when he showed up was, why is it listed so low? So even though we had a lot of tire kickers and people coming to try and haggle the price on us, we sold it for what it was worth, and the person who bought it felt like they got a steal.
So that's like the business we want to be in, you know? Just really excited. First series down, so many more to go. We have literally an episode every Tuesday for you guys for the entire year. And hit that like button. If you liked what we're doing, also leave us comments on what to do and what to explain better and what RVs you guys want to see, because I swear we run into every single one. And if you mention one that we don't know about, ooh, you're gonna get like a special gift or something like that, because I swear we know every one of them. So next up, 1976 GMC Super Classic, an RV that has lots of problems and trouble traditionally, just stupid stuff. So we figure out quite a lot of stuff about the GMCs. We go through where you can find the bags and things like that. And again, super satisfied buyer. So let us know what you want. And more than anything, we're just super excited that you're here with us. We're excited that you're part of the tour fam. And we're just gonna be trying to bring you as much content and education as we can. Stuff that's you're not gonna read in a book. Stuff that is like real trouble and real problems on the spot. So definitely hit that subscribe button, and if you really want to be up to date, hit that bell. That way you can find out every time we're releasing an episode. And just leave us a comment, say what's up. We love to talk shit with you guys. You're our fam. So we'll see you next Tuesday, and every Tuesday after that. Thank you, Tourlifers.